Welcome. Here are 21 key requirements to engage in the mentoring arrangement from the mentee's perspective. As this is a how-to video, you may be here to get this checklist as an example, and that's all you need. Great. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand on each statement here, each requirement, and add just a little bit more color into the lines, and maybe sometimes go outside of the lines. But as a self assessment, you could ask yourself, am I capable to look at each statement, mull it over? If the answer is yes, then you would be able to demonstrate it. If the answer is no, there's a learn, no, show that has to take place. I would offer there is no wavy yeses. For me, a wavy yes is a no, start there and go forward. Active engagement, the key to unlock mentees' growth. The key here is engagement. Engagement means there's a heart, you're wholehearted in your involvement with the mentor, and you are active. Now, I appreciate at the beginning sometimes the notion of active is a little open for dialogue because it may be new. But once you're going, you've got to be able to be like on two ends of a teeter totter and be able to interact with one another in that way. Goal setting, chart the course for the mentee's journey. What you're going to do here is that you are on a unique journey and you're going to adventure together with your mentor. But what's key here is what are your goals? What do you want to set as to have as a result of the mentoring arrangement? So you need to outline that in a way that you can assess it afterwards and find out, are you getting there along the way and at the end? With open communication, what we're sharing here is about there's a bridge for effective mentoring. The communication is sort of if I'm at A and I want to be at C, I've got to go across that bridge. I'm going to require communication because the two of us are working together. And communication is really about the level of commonness that unifies you together into action. And the more that you're open to the possibilities, then it's going to give you the dividends that you are looking for. Commitment. That is, you've got to keep your promises. If you commit to the mentoring arrangement and commit to the learning that is going to open up in front of you because of the arrangement, then you will have the driving force of progress. You will have the steps forward. You will be able to push through the challenges that you might find yourself. You'll make your adjustments. You'll pivot. You'll do what you need to. The key is commitment. Receiving feed forward. Feed forward is in the moment, here's some ideas for you to think about. Not that the mentor is going to pull from history and say these are things you can improve. The mentor is going to give you that feed forward, that critique in the moment so that you can grow. You can start to unfold different ways in which to approach whatever it is that you're dealing with. So receive the feed forward with an open heart. Accountability is the ability to account for. As a mentee, there are assignments that will be given to you. There'll be conversations that will stimulate, oh, I've got to bring this to the next meeting. You have to be accountable. You have to say, I will get involved with it and I will account for what it is that I, as a mentee, have to do. Because what you're doing, in a sense, is as a mentee, you're taking charge of the actions in the mentoring. Maybe slow at first, but as you move in as a mentee, you are going to take charge of the actions that will unfold. Respecting boundaries. You have your boundaries, the mentor has their boundaries. Understand that and make sure that this is a professional interaction that's taking place. And if you feel as though it's breaking the boundaries, then you're going to have to speak up and to deal with it, not in a adversarial way, but more in a friendship kind of way. Conscious listening is important. Often you'll hear the word active listening. In other words, being present in what you're doing. So, with conscious listening, what you're doing is you're really saying to yourself, yes, I am here. I am present. I'm tuning into the wisdom that's being shared. I'm taking the guidance and figuring out what I'll do with it as I move forward. And therefore, this listening means you'll take a little break before you respond. And that opens up this conscious listening approach. Self reflection is reflect in and on. Reflect in while you're in the mentoring arrangement, and then reflect on what took place. This reflection will give you new generalizations that you can figure out what actions can you take. Because, in a sense, you're having a conversation with yourself in the mirror because you're looking for the growth and you're attempting to figure out of what happened here, what did I learn, what can I shift in the next time. With entry into the mentoring arrangement, it's important for the mentee to think about, when am I going to take initiative? I know the mentor is probably going to get things moving forward, unless, of course, I, as the mentee, have had some experience before and we can deal with that opening up in a way that allows me to take the initiative. But again, the first step to success is when the mentee starts to help figure out which way the arrangement is going to unfold. Building resilience is about to bounce onward from the challenges. So look up resilience, dig into it, find out what it means, because in the short form, you're at A, there will be some into the trough, but your C, when you come out the other side, is going to be in a better position than when you went in. But the key is you didn't go into dysfunction. And that's why it's bounce onward when you're faced the challenges. Adaptability is the ability to adapt to situations where you adopt or adapt actions. In other words, ride the waves that are presenting themselves. And shift is a wave you can be on, and the adjustments that are required. Sometimes you need to do course corrections or pivots depending on what's going on. Being able to demonstrate adaptability is a key to success. Patience, flexibility, and discretion. Patience, pulling it out, is what is going to allow you to grow one step at a time. Because sometimes, as a mentee, you've got to just be in the quiet mode, listening and saying, okay, and then asking questions to refine your understanding and valuing of what's taken place. So don't be too quick to move on. Sometimes patience can really help you out. Confidentiality, what is said in there stays in there. Now, the mentor has to think about if there is questions of harm to self or others, then confidentiality may be broken. I just want to be clear about that. For the most part, you need truth, trust, and transparency. The confidentiality that is in that mentoring is sealed in to that mentoring. Preparation is paramount. You've got to maximize the value of each session. Therefore, come prepared. What I would share is a preparation checklist, a prevention backpack. In other words, what are some of the things you want to get taken care of? And so you can create a checklist. And from a prevention point of view, what am I bringing so I have the ideas, the tools, the questions that I need to ask while there? Showing respect is important, is that it goes both ways. And as you interact with the mentor, they are human and therefore sometimes may slip up on things they say, or they might go, I don't know. And then together you'll go find the responses you need. Show respect to each other, and it'll be amazing what happens from an integrity point of view. And therefore, make sure you celebrate the mentor's time and wisdom. That's important. Action management. Often you'll hear time management. I like action management. Time is constant. Action is, what are you going to do with the time that you've assigned? So as you come into your mentoring sessions, make sure that you understand what actions want to be taken in the time that's available. And because you're engaging in mentoring, you're going to be juggling sometimes your mentoring involvement with what's happening from living your life. Courage to step into it. I always say it's the second stride, not the first one, where courage really plays itself out. The commitment of the second step, the courage to take the second step into what's happening is really important. And sometimes what this means is stepping out of the comfort zones. You may enter your learning, but you may have to go a little bit farther into those uncomfortable areas that you may have to take a look at. Self-awareness, what is you understand about yourself from a confidence and clarity point of view? Because with that, you can figure out, well, what are your personal strengths and what are the areas that you want to grow in? So when you're in the conversations, you can bring it to the foreground and have the mentor look at it with you because they can offer different perspectives at that point in time. Asking questions, get to the point of really understanding what it means to ask a great question. If the mentor is really in tune with their mentoring, they'll know how to ask great questions. You can start to mirror what they're doing. And from that question, you are actually seeking clarity and the guidance, the answers that come to the foreground that you'll find with the support of the mentor will give you the clarity and the guidance that you need. And from a closure point of view, understand that if it's closure from your perspective as a mentee, you believe it has run its course, great. Bring it to the foreground and state you think it needs to close off. Mentor may counter that. If not, you will find that you can navigate to the end of the arrangement and say thank you to each other and move forward from there. As you find yourself here and you've listened to the quick introductions, 30 seconds per piece of the 21 statements that the mentee has to take into consideration, this checklist, I would encourage the following. Go back and complete that I am capable assignment right at the very beginning. And then where you have a no, go to that statement in the 21, listen to what it is that I shared, and then reflect on what are two or three main points that you would link to that statement. And of those, what would you need to improve, focus, or strengthen to be able to turn that no into a yes from a capability point of view? I would also encourage you to come back to this video every once in a while and just go through it again and just mentally, through listening and watching the videos and seeing the images that are here, what comes to mind? Am I, as a mentee, really helping myself get organized? Now, if you're a mentor, this is a great checklist as well to be able to say, oh, the mentee, what am I doing? Am I helping the mentee to fulfill these requirements? If I'm asking the mentee to have these, to bring these to the mentoring arrangement, am I helping that? So again, there's multi-uses to this video, and thank you on behalf of the International Mentoring Community for dropping in, and please watch videos in the channel. There's lots of really great long form videos for you to watch on different topics. Take care. As this is a how-to video, you may be here to get this checklist as an example, and that's all you need. Great. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand on each statement here, each requirement, and add just a little bit more color into the lines, and maybe sometimes go outside of the lines. But as a self assessment, you could ask yourself, am I capable to look at each statement, mull it over? If the answer is yes, then you would be able to demonstrate it. If the answer is no, there's a learn, know, show that has to take place. I would offer there is no wavy yeses. For me, a wavy yes is a no, start there and go forward.